Welcome to the source. The source. Source.
Oh wait, that mic's not gonna work.
Hey, get the source.
You're gonna have to join from his computer because he's not in the stream. Yo, what's up, everybody? We're not starting until 4 o'clock, but I was just sitting here ready, so I figured to come. Hey. Whoa. Didn't mute my TV. So we're starting in... no, that's not right. Let's set the timer for about that. I play in the NHL, Kyle. You play in the NHL? Yeah. Pretty sure they have strict rules about participating in the gambling. But hey, if you play in the NHL, you want to come on the show, you let me know, all right? My email's always open. What's up, Scott? Josh Naylor will show Cole who his daddy is. I'm pretty sure Garrett Cole, correct me if I'm wrong, I'm pretty sure he has excellent numbers against lefty bats. So I've been told that you should look towards a righty in the Cleveland lineup. But hey, what do I know? Hit on those Bills last night. Didn't trust the Jets. Sucks. Reach out to We Want Picks for UFC picks on Saturday. Dudes are money and hilarious. I'm not sure. I don't know those guys, but I'll look into it. During this time of year, Saturday's tough, man. It's so much work setting up that college football show that, well, a lot of times that college football show, I'm working on about 60 minutes sleep. So when we do 10 to 12 and the college football show's over, like, I need a minute. I need to shut my computer down and not look at it. Like, it'd be tough to add some more to that. Sauce, what's good? College football picks tonight? Yeah, we're about to go through them. We're doing the MLB first one. Here comes the Yankees. Everyone loves to see the Yankees. They're going to learn to fear the Yankees. I mean, they're minus 167 favorites, man. It's not like people are counting them out. Crazy roughing the passer call on Josh Allen. Yeah, I mean, there were like a half dozen crazy calls in that game. Granted, when there's a lot of flags, people naturally blame the officiating, and there were a few bad ones. There were also, some of that blame belongs on the teams themselves for playing a sloppy game, because a lot of times you see the flag and you're like, what the hell? And you get pissed, and they show the replay, and you're like, okay, yeah, he definitely grabbed, so like a lot of times it's easy to point at the officials, and they did miss. They called some bad ones, but there's also sometimes where people were cursing out the refs, where it was like, dude, what do you want them to do? That's pass interference. There's nothing the refs could do about that. You want them to not call it? So it's a collective effort. The refs, probably with the amount of flags being thrown, need to get a little less tic-tacky with the roughing the passer. There was a roughing the passer each way. But also, some of the blame belongs on the Jets and the Bills for playing a sloppy-ass game. What do you think about the Nerfy tonight? Oh, I couldn't even tell you what the price is for that. First 5 under 4.5. I'm pretty sure that shit's at 3.5, man. If you want to bet a first 5, 4.5, you're probably going to have to pay for it. It's harder to be a ref than people think. Oh, yeah, dude. It's the worst job ever because people only complain like, you don't see people on Twitter being like, that was a great call by the ref. Like, no one says that. It's people only complain. In every single NFL game, the NFL is specialized, especially because it's so polarizing and people are so emotional about it that, like last night, there were the Twitter was going off. People were saying the refs are rigging this game for the Bills, and at the same time, people were saying the refs are rigging this game for the Jets. So, like, that's how like crazy and polarizing NFL is, that two people are seeing the games that differently through those fans or their own personal bets lenses rather than looking at it objectively. If you looked at the game objectively, there was a lot of bad calls. I thought they went both ways. I thought the way I handicapped the game, I think I had it right in terms of Rodgers would be able to throw the ball easily on the Bills defense. Rodgers was piecing them up. Everyone's talking about the penalties, but for me, the two plays that changed the game were the two drop passes by the Jets. It was 2020 Rodgers puts it on Garrett Wilson's chest in the end zone. Yeah, he took a hit, but dude, you got to catch that. He put it on your chest in the end zone. That would have made it 27-20. Who knows what happens if the Jets have a touchdown lead instead of doinking. They ended up so Garrett Wilson drops that pass, then the Jets doink the field goal off the upright. If Garrett Wilson catches that, it's 27-20. We're looking at a completely different game. Yeah, so and then the other one was, I think it was 2nd and 16 or 3rd and 16. What's in my ears? I hear my own voice echoing. All right, so and the other one was, I think it was 2nd and 16, 3rd and 16. Rodgers put the ball right on the tight end's chest, and Taylor Rapp made a hell of a play to get the ball out, but still, like, dude, that's you're driving to come back inside the game. Catch the ball. So as much as the officiating was a huge factor, I think those two plays. The Jets figured it out defensively. The first drive or two, the Bills were just bulldozing the Jets front seven off the ball, and they figured that out. The Bills only scored 3 points in the second half. So, yeah. Yeah, Breece Hall, 43-yard run. One guy to beat on the 2-yard line. I can't believe that either. Why wouldn't you cut that back inside? Turn to the open field. I mean, you're supposed to be a superstar running back. Get into the open field. That should have been an easy score. You're not catching that. That's good defense. Stop that. Man, if you're supposed to be a top 10, top 15 receiver in the NFL, you catch that. Devontae Adams catches that. Rodgers is the problem. Did we watch different football games? Rodgers was dicing them up last night. I mean, there was a bunch of drop passes. Other than that one weird throw with the interception there to Mike Williams at the end, I don't even remember Rodgers making a single bad pass in the game. That weird throw at the end to Mike Williams, I don't know. They tried to explain where Mike Williams was supposed to be on the red line or something. I don't know. I think Rodgers just underthrew the shit out of it. So that one, yeah. But other than that, I mean, Rodgers was piecing the Bills up. I don't know if that's actually going to happen. If Toast just said Mike Williams doesn't have a job anymore. S. says Jets got shafted. No, I wouldn't say Jets got shafted. I mean, should they have won the game? Yeah, but they didn't do enough. I mean, what did they go 1-4 on red zone trips, and the Bills went 3 for 3. I mean, you got to finish the drives. You got yes, they looked like the better team for most of the game, but doesn't matter. You got to finish drives. Yeah, that's true. You got to. Toast said that in the background as well. You got to throw the Hail Mary in there. 7 points came off the Hail Mary. But overall, though, it was a fun game to watch. Like, as far as was it a good football game? No, but I mean, if you were watching that in a Discord or in a group chat, you were laughing your ass off when those flags kept coming. Like, at first it was like, this sucks, and then after like the 10th, 11th flag, it became like a joke, and we were like literally laughing. Like, this is crazy. I've never seen anything like this.
Do you, and I'm not even making a joke, do you feel like it's just the flag show happens on these national televised games more than regular? Because I'm not even making a joke. It seems like that's all I hear about every time that there's a standalone game. Well, the ref show.
The average football fan is not watching all 13 games on Sunday. They're watching the Red Zone channel that don't show flags. So when they watch the if there's a flag heavy game on Sunday, majority of football fans ain't seeing it. But primetime games, everybody's watching. So they're like, what? Where'd all these flags? I'm used to just watching nonstop touchdowns all day.
There's never been a flag the last 3 weeks. I don't know what's going on.
I'm used to watching just nonstop touchdowns for 7 hours straight with no commercials. Where's my stimulation? So yeah, the Red Zone channel has turned the casual football fan into a nightmare to watch the game with. That being said, last night was crazy. Trinidad says, damn, Sauce read me like a book. I watch the Red Zone channel. Dude, everyone does. That wasn't a shot at anyone in particular. Everyone watches the Red Zone channel on Sundays. I have 6 TVs set up, and the Red Zone channel's on the main one. I got the Red Zone channel on. I mean, Noah Carter says, I watch every game. I mean, that's tough to watch every game start to finish, but yeah, some people do. Most people don't.
And somebody said, Toast, sell us on the under. I can't sell you on a play that I don't think hits. So.
You must be talking about the Middle Tennessee Kennesaw State game.
Yeah, 100%. I was actually just did that spreadsheet actually too. That's just straight over. Yep, 100% agree. Actually, I didn't do that spreadsheet because one of them teams didn't have one. Oh well.
We're starting in 8 minutes, by the way, guys. If you're wondering what we're doing, in fact, let me put the countdown back up.
This is a Hillsboro's Hops hat for who asked. Scott Gallagher, the haters will always be here. Embrace them. Embrace them.
Hey, Kyle, I go through the schedules, and I think about the spread before I actually look at what the books have. I'm right a lot, but sometimes I'm surprised. Yeah, I mean, ideally, I like to look and handicap the game first before looking at the line, but that's not always realistic. I mean, if you have a smartphone, you can very easily accidentally find out what the line is before you have a chance to look, so it's not...
It's more about what your numbers tell you the line should be.
Right,
at least...
a lot of times you can accidentally catch the line during like the broadcast of a game. If you watch the game, be like, oh, next week opened up at 2. It's like, well, shit, guess I know what the line is, even though I didn't even look yet.
Baseball's a little bit different, obviously, because it's every day. But like, I mean, sometimes it's so automatic for me. If I see a team that's priced wrong, whether it be minus 120 or minus 170, and my numbers say that they should only be minus 105 or whatever. Yeah, it's a little bit different, I think, in football, though. I will give you guys that.
So why are we wasting 8 more minutes? Because we told everybody 4 p.m. There's a lot of people that literally set alarms to come at 4 p.m. Hey, Kyle, get in on the Aaron Judge over a half walk.
I actually had a conversation with the guys from Foul Territory today because AJ Przinsky was like, "Oh, I'm putting $500 on a walk prop because if he gets intentionally walked, this is going to be easy." I'm like, "AJ, that doesn't count, bro." And he's like, "Are you sure?" Like,
Prop Beaver said that?
No, AJ,
different AJ
Przinsky, yeah. Yeah. You want to say hi to Kyle?
Przinsky from the White Sox?
Yeah,
I remember him.
I love that guy.
He's got a podcast, right?
Yeah. Someone wants to say hi. Say hi.
Nice hoodie, bro.
Say I got crazy hair.
I like the stripe. I like the stripes on the sleeve too. He's killing
Look
it.
at the craziness.
Yeah, the kid needs a bath.
I'm pretty sure he just shit himself. So let's go.
Great.
Bye.
Ooh,
I can still smell it.
Aaron Judge doing tonight. He hasn't hit one yet. Have that weird feeling. What, the Judge is going to hit a homer?
Well, to have that feeling, he has to put his bat on the baseball. So I don't know how he hits a home run without doing that.
It's tough to hit a home run without making contact with the ball.
It is.
It is tough.
You know what? I keep on saying that. I forgot he did have a fly out last night. I apologize, Aaron. You did have a fly out last night. My bad. Sorry.
Is it really that bad where he's not even making contact? It's that bad?
I just said that.
He did.
I just said that. Everything
Scoop,
else.
He said that. He said that.
Everything else, strikeout.
He's really striking out every time like that.
Pretty close.
Soto total bases 1.5 against Bybee.
Love it.
Y'all are gonna find out. Bybee's a gunner. Judge has been making contact left and right, says S. Dot.
Yeah, contact with the bench.
Toast, when can you start to sell me on Yankees first 5 money line? At what?
4 minutes and 15 seconds.
Minus 170?
4 minutes and 15 seconds. I'll talk about it.
Laying minus 170 in the first 5 against Tanner the GOAT Bybee.
That's exactly what I did too. It's a 5-unit whale. Spoiler alert.
He said, no, it is. It's dude, S-Dot, don't come at me. I was asking. I have the Yankees on the small STV. Fuck the Yankees. I don't give a shit. I'm not sitting there watching every at bat. I'm asking. Toast is the one saying that he's striking out. So if Aaron Judge is not striking out, Toast is the one making shit up.
14, 15. He's 2 for his last 15. He's just killing the game, guys. He is just absolutely slaughtering anybody he's facing against. I mean, I don't know how you pitch against him, but it is what it is. We're going to find out how they do it tonight. Sorry.
No shit. That's funny.
So do I.
He's got the Yankees.
Probably.
Grand slam in the 6th.
Toast, stop making crap up, bro.
I think you're kidding.
You want to go through the game logs? We can go through the game logs.
S-Dot's the one that's pissed. S-Dot's the one that's pissed.
Come on. Put some respect on the Yankees. They're winning it all. You're playing in the AL Central Invitational. It would be more of a problem if you didn't make the World Series than if you do make the World Series. You understand that, right? Like, this is absolutely ridiculous. What do the kids say? The glazing, the meat writing is unreal right now?
Is that what the kids say?
I think so.
The glazing?
Sounds like something Shipley would say.
Someone says, I'm going to drink my own pee when the Guardians win. I'm not the type of person that sits around and tells others how to live their life. So
I guess, do you drink a lot of water? Is it clear pee or straight yellow pee? I guess that's where I want to figure out, because there's if it's clear, sure, I guess.
The only way Judge gets a hit is if you blindfold Bybee.
Who is that? Relly Rel?
Really, really.
I like you, dude. You figured it out.
I will say, if you blindfold Bybee, he's probably walking on 4 pitches.
Toast has lost all credibility after 4 bad days, or 3 bad days.
Yeah, he's fucking
gone.
Mr. Weskers is the type of dude that will say something like disrespectful and then be like, just kidding. And you're like, well, shit, that sucked, bro. I'm having a losing night. That's not what I'm trying to read.
I need to go on
Someone
vacation.
says, yeah, you need to go on vacation.
I agree. I haven't been on vacation in 3 weeks.
1 minute.
Mark A, I love you so much.
Dude,
He's so funny.
Mark's a freak, bro.
I know, but he is so funny.
You like that
Yeah.
hat? I hate Mark's new hat in the Discord. I think that hat sucks, Mark. No, I didn't see him compare 2 hats. All right, 3:50. All right. 4 o'clock. All right. What's up, everybody? Thanks for waiting. So it'll be quick. We're doing the baseball game, which you've already heard us talk about. But Toast said last night he still hasn't zeroed in on anything. He actually does have a bet he likes now. And then Scoop and Andy are going to come on, and we're going to talk about the 3 college football games tonight. And there are a few screamers. I mean, this is the type of game where it's like, hey, if you're placing a bet, just know we're doing some gambling. That's as far as making predictions. All right. So anyway, Cleveland on the road in the Bronx. Guardians looking to even the series up. Garrett Cole is on the mound pitching a Bybee. Toast, it sounds like you're on Yankees first 5 money line.
Run line. Run line minus 120. Just a small 0.6 to win half a unit. I can't make a case that I absolutely love this play, but I cannot stop from talking about how bad the Cleveland Guardians are against right-handed pitching. I talked about it. We've actually talked about this for 3 months now, going back, maybe more. Again, really quickly, Guardians versus right-handed pitching on the full season: 20th in WRC plus, 25th in OPS, 26th in WOBA. Over the last 30 days, it's pretty much the same. On the road, I guess you could call it the same, but when they're at home, it jumps up to a top 10, top 15 lineup at home. Just this Guardian team can't hit right-handed pitching, and they can't play on the road. Cleveland at home this year, amazing job. 52 and 31, almost over 20 games over 500 at home. But when they are on the road, they are 43 and 41. So I will give you that when you bet Tanner Bybee, you want to face him or bet on him on the road. But look at who Bybee has started against on his last road starts: the Brewers, Toronto, the White Sox, Arizona, Seattle, St. Louis, the Yankees, Miami.
Oh, the Yankees are in there.
It might have been the Mets. I can't read my own handwriting sometimes. Miami, Pittsburgh, Washington, and Texas. Yankees were last year, so it was the Mets. I think
Okay, the Mets. You mean one of the hottest lineups in baseball? And you also threw the Brewers in there.
Yeah,
trash lineups.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I just mentioned 11 teams, and you picked out 2 of them that he pitched.
Them all fast. I just heard a couple.
No, I'm just making the point that, I mean, over his last 7: Detroit, Cincinnati, Minnesota, Tampa Bay, the Dodgers, and Kansas City. So
the Dodgers, Detroit's hot.
I will give you that Detroit was hot, but again, they were winning game. When we talked about Detroit being hot, they were winning games with their pitching. They weren't winning games with their offense. Again, like the statement that I made last night, I think the significant jump in the offenses that Tanner Bybee has seen now facing this Yankees team is a significant jump. Not to mention the fact that more than anything, Cleveland can't hit. They really can't hit left-handed pitching either, because they really didn't do anything the other night. And I have a hard time believing they're going to do anything against Garrett Cole at home, who, again, I'm not a big Garrett Cole guy. Everybody knows that, but I can't take away what I've seen from Cleveland versus right-handed pitching. Not to mention the fact that Garrett Cole in his career against Cleveland has absolutely owned this team. I just feel like the Yankees, until I see something from Cleveland, it's really, really hard for me to bet this team. I would love to come on here and tell you guys that I was taking Cleveland because you got Tanner Bybee on the road and the bullpen behind him, and they didn't use the bullpen yesterday, and yada, yada, yada. I honestly, I don't think it matters. I just don't think that Cleveland has the horses to keep up with the Yankees. It kills me to say that, it really does. But in my heart of hearts, it's just, I cannot bet Cleveland until I can trust their offense. And no, I understand that they got 5 runs off of Tariq Skubal. That doesn't really mean anything to me. And that 7-run game against Detroit, I think that Detroit was just dead and they put some runs up. But besides that, they scored 2 last night. They didn't score any runs in the first 2 games of the Detroit series, or games 2 and 3. If they have a 7-run, 5-run blow up tonight against Garrett Cole, so be it. I just have a very hard time believing that's going to happen. So Yankees first 5-run line -120. I do have a couple player props though, for sure. So I think Jazz,
the community home run prep. I need to use this text box, so I need to delete this. For those of you that were looking for last night's stream, the community home run pick from the midnight stream was Jose Ramirez. So I have to delete this because I need this text box. But for those looking for that information, all right. So what? Hit me with the props. What do you got?
Jazz Chisholm to record a hit at -130.
How do I spell it? Is that an S? Whatever.
Jazzchich.
IS? It's not IL, bro. It's Chisholm.
I was waiting for. Obviously, there's a delay. CHIS. IS.
Got it. I got it. All right, keep going.
HOLME. Yeah. Again, I just think that number. I think he's one of the guys that we can look at as far as with the Yankees. Where is his? God damn it! I was trying to find his name and now I just messed up all my notes. My bad. Hold on. Oh, okay. Here we go. Jazz Chisholm hasn't done anything the last 3 nights against anybody, but I will give you that he's one of those guys that in the lineup that I just think that has a little bit of juice left for the Yankees. Guys like Rizzo and stuff like that, I get it. But at the same time, our friends over at Ballpark Pal really like Jazz Chisholm today too. I don't mind Soto either. I played Soto hits, runs, and RBIs because I think he's one of the hottest batters on the Yankees right now. And
that's 1.5, right? 1.5.
Yeah, 1.5. And that's it. Oh, and then I also did Quan and Ramirez hit parlay because obviously I know that you have Ramirez in yours, and Quan's a leadoff hitter that I think went 0 for yesterday. So, yeah, I can't find my other notes, but yeah, I played all those props. Again, I don't see a whole ton of betting value on the sides in the total. If I had to lean, I would lean over as well. Again, I think that everybody in the world's on the under. It makes sense. I understand it, but at the same time, like we saw with that Dodgers game in Game 2, things can change very fast. So that's why I don't have a huge bet on the Yankees at all in general. Just I do think they win, but I don't want to pay that price. And at the same time, Bybee isn't terrible, but again, I just think that Cleveland offense is so bad. It's just really hard to get behind them.
So if you guys remember the bet, I actually still have the text box right here from last night. So this is the bet I actually placed last night. The same game parlay. Jose Ramirez recorded a hit. He's got really nice looking career numbers against Garrett Cole, and the Yankees team total under 5.5. So that's actually a bet I have open. But honestly, I think kind of what I said yesterday about the Mets, it kind of applies here, where it's like the playoffs. It's easy to forget what we're doing here. And it's easy to slip into the mindset of like, oh, let's predict who's going to win, ignore the numbers. I feel like if this is a regular season game and we got Tanner Bybee on the road, we wouldn't hesitate to pull the trigger at plus 145. Has Garrett Cole been much better than Tanner Bybee over the last 3 months?
No.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Like, I think the fact that this game's in Yankee Stadium, we've seen Garrett Cole struggle in Yankee Stadium, and Tanner Bybee on the road. I think that the starting pitching matchup is close to even. And look, the Cleveland bats against righties have been terrible, but it seems like we all just forgot the Yankees bats were struggling there for a little. It's not like the Yankees are coming in with a red hot lineup. At plus 145, I feel like the side has to be Cleveland, especially huge bullpen advantage. So the batting edge goes to the Yankees. Starting pitching edge, I think, is closer to even than you think. Bullpen advantage is way on the other side. So at plus 145, I feel like it's got to be Cleveland. That being said, the bet I had before is the one I actually placed. I have money on myself. I didn't actually bet Guardians money line, but that'd be my pick as far as the side.
Also, I lost my notes at the first part, but as far as that Jazz Chisholm play goes, Tanner Bybee really struggles against lefty bats. There's only going to be a few lefty bats in the lineup, I guess Rizzo and Verdugo, but the ones that you want to focus on are Soto, Wells, and Chisholm. Obviously, Austin Wells isn't doing dick, so you can't worry about him. We've got Soto, we've got Chisholm. I think those are the lefties that we're going to have to worry about. And as far as Garrett Cole is concerned, he's another one of those guys really, really good against lefties. What do we know about Cleveland? A whole boatload of lefties in that lineup. You're only going to see 1, 2, 3, maybe 3 righties in that lineup. So the righties in the Cleveland lineup, Ramirez, Lane Thomas, and Brian Rocchio, who, again, Rocchio's been actually really hot for Cleveland. I think he's had a hit in all their postseason games or something like that. So he is hitting 9 holes. So if you wanted to get creative, Rocchio might be a hit parlay guy as well, because he's going to give you a really good price.
Everyone, the comments I'm getting in here about the Guardians money line pick sounded awfully similar to the comments I got for Mets yesterday. Just saying. Awfully similar to my Mets money line comments. And now,
also, the line is very similar too. It's like I told you last night. It went up and went down, and now it's stayed, and it's not moving right now. Terrifying.
That being said, Cleveland doesn't have the magic. There's no purple mascot backing this Cleveland team. All right, let's talk college football. Oh, man, I can't wait to talk Troy, South Alabama. I'm itching.
That's my cue. Have a good night.
Later. All right, let's get the gentleman on. Andy, did you hook me up with pick graphics? All right, cool. My bad. Yeah, but I can mute you. All right. Whoa, I'm gone. I didn't realize I was gone that whole time. Whoops. 1 second, guys. Prop Beaver is run. He had to leave for a few minutes, so I'm producing the show. He'll be back in like an hour, he said. All right, so here I am. Sorry about that. I should have had this prepared. All you hating on my Cleveland Guardians moneyline pick, I'm revisiting these comments later. All right, so we got Andy. Prop Beaver's got his name as R-Truth. And we got Scoop.
Oh, there I am. Oh, lighting is not good for me.
It's probably because there's a green screen on. I'll turn it off.
Like, terrible. All right, well.
Oh, no, hold on. I can fix that.
Yankees minus 3.5 is the pick. Whoever's betting that game.
3.5.
Where is the Padres playing today? Can anyone give me a heads up on that?
Toast has gotten a little bit more like
Haterish.
Yeah, good word. Haterish over the past couple days.
Dude, I honestly think because he went on that like insane hot streak during the season. I'm just turning your green screen off. It's a pain in my ass.
That's fine.
He went on that insane hot streak, and then everyone started following him. And then he had like 4 cold days in a row in the playoffs. And the comments are, dude, they're killing him. And I think he's becoming scorned.
He jumped off the Mets after one game. Dude, so he was betting the Vientos and Lindor. props every single day. They were cashing every day. They had a bad game one. He didn't bet them, and both of those guys, first 2 innings of the game, nailed it. I was like, I was kind of disappointed he gave up so quickly.
It wasn't so much that he gave up on the Nets. It meant on the Nets. Wow, NBA's almost here. On the Mets is that he literally said in game one, if the Mets are going to be priced like this, I'm going to bet them every game. And then literally game two went Dodgers -1.5. Well, like I was like,
It's like the quickest like flip from what he planned on doing.
I know. I stuck with it. I stuck with Grimace.
Yeah.
All right, so we got 3 college football games. Obviously, most of the people watching, they know what it is. These midweek group of 5 games, they're tough.
I've been awesome.
Oh yeah, Scoop actually has been hitting these.
Like midweek college games, I'm like over 70%. I don't know what's going on. Conference USA, I guess.
Yo, as quick,
that.
yo, into the midweek games though, as quick as you get hot, you get ice cold.
Yeah,
That happened last week where I went 0-7 in midweek group of 5 games, and the comments were like roasting me, and then I went 9-0 the next week. It's just, you just do the best you can. So the first one up is Troy, South Alabama. This is at, it looks like the graphic.
It's 11.5. I
It's
think
11.5.
AJ just didn't change South Alabama's.
I actually see 11's open, so this has been dropping. So it confirmed Goose Crowder is not playing. Correct, Scoop, right?
right. I think it's going to be
Kilcrease.
yeah.
Kilcrease looked good last week.
Yeah.
But, I mean, I still like Troy a lot better if Goose Crowder's playing. So, Scoop, you're on Troy. I saw you saying in the Discord you're on Troy.
Yeah, I bet Troy. I had this at 13.5 yesterday. So, yeah, South Alabama's had some wild games. They put up that 87-point game against Northwestern State, 48 on App State. And then obviously LSU shut them down, but then they couldn't do anything against Arkansas State. But one thing is maybe the defense is better than I thought, which is crazy to say. But no, neither team is particularly good, and I know Troy really has nothing going for them. Yeah, I know. I mean, I know Troy's been bad, but really, Texas State, Louisiana Monroe, Iowa, Memphis, these teams are all better than them, and they're all better than South Alabama. So you're telling me that South Alabama is 12.5-point favorites or 11, 13.5, a bad team in its own right. So as bad as Troy's been, they have a chance here. South Alabama is very undisciplined. They have the most penalties in the Sun Belt, and though South Alabama has a pretty solid offense, Troy allows less than 200 yards a game through the air. On the other side, Troy should have their best offensive game this season. I feel they give up 310 yards through the air on their top 25 third down team. And you look at Troy's games; they lost by 2 to Nevada. Against Iowa, they were up in the third. Louisiana Monroe, they lost by 4. Texas State was a pretty bad game, but they had a week off. They can work on their offense. I actually think they have a good chance to win this game, to be honest. Kilcrease did well backing up last game. If he gets the start today against a bad South Alabama defense, is a good first start for him. So, yeah, I'm on Troy. I was on Troy the first week of the season, but that's when pretty much everything was a disaster for Troy. It still is, but at least they have time to work together.
It's kind of hard to argue with some of the things you said. I will say, though, that Troy defense looks pretty awful. And we've seen the South Alabama offense looked unstoppable at times. That being said, I mean, Gio Lopez is dealing with a foot injury. They did just take a loss last week. So maybe he's not 100%. He's a guy that needs to be mobile. On paper, South Alabama's offense should rip Troy to shreds, but I'm completely on board with banking on Troy being able to move the football even with Kilcrease. Andy, go like this with the camera. Like, put your hand up to it because you're blurry. There. Oh, you just had it. Nope, do it again. Whatever.
I'm sorry. This is AJ's, so.
You're sitting at Prop Beaver's desk. All right, so what do you like of this game?
I'm with him. I like Troy. Going deeper into what he was saying, quarterback or the offenses that Troy has faced to this point, you can kind of find holes in like the lack of success they had. Their game, in terms of like passing against them, which is all South Alabama wants to do. I'll preface this with that. South Alabama's top 40 in the country in pass frequency. They don't really want to run the ball. I mean, they don't really do it overly successfully unless they're facing like Northwestern State or App State, who are both awful defenses. So just purely throwing the football against Troy, Nevada did it week 1. That was Brendan Lewis, but that was a Nevada team who had already played a game. They had a game under their belt. That was Troy's first game with a new system, new era of everything. So that one's a little bit of a hole in it. And then they went, Seth Hennigan They went to Seth Hennigan. He couldn't throw on him. We know Iowa can't throw. Florida A&M obviously couldn't throw on him. Louisiana Monroe, they don't really want to throw the ball, so they couldn't really throw on McLeod, who's obviously really, really good. Gio Lopez at maybe 75% tonight, not 100%. I really don't like him to throw on them in this matchup, so I think Troy can keep it close. The only thing that scares me, their offense is very, very bad, and even with Gilcrease, I think he was an improvement last week, but they still couldn't even score 20. So I really don't love this offense, but I think they can keep it close.
I muted my mic to fix that. So when you're talking, it comes up on my mic. That's why. So I fixed it now. I didn't realize that. Usually 8J's producing. This is new. So it should be fixed now. So I said this last night on the when I did the upload that the pick here would be the over. Problem is it's moved 2 points down. In fact, all my picks on YouTube, the market moved the other way. So I don't really know what to do. I don't have any bets down right now. I think it would be the over here based on what these guys were saying. Troy should be able to move the ball in South Alabama. They covered it. They seem a little more confident in Troy defensively than I am. I mean, this defense looks really bad. This is not Troy's defense from last year. They're getting cooked. And Gio Lopez... Maybe okay. So I guess you're banking on the fact that he's not 100%. If Gio Lopez is healed and that foot's okay, they should put up 80 points. So there's no way I could take Troy to keep it close with that possibility. So it'll be just over a pass for me. I think the audio should be fixed, by the way, for those of you saying that. All right. Wait, they're saying it's still messed up. Let me do a test real quick. 1 second.
He said I sounded like Darth Vader too, so. Luke, I am your father.
I just did a test. It doesn't sound that bad at all. It was echoing a little bit. Whatever. Anyway, next up is
another solid game.
Yeah. Kennesaw State versus Middle Tennessee State. And this, I guess, would be my favorite bet out of the three, but like only by default because I don't like any of the other ones. I think we see a Middle Tennessee offensive resurgence here. When it comes to these Conference USA programs, most people don't watch many of the games. The only games they watch are these standalone. Like, no one's watched any Middle Tennessee State football until last week when they were the standalone game against Louisiana Tech, and that was their first view of Middle Tennessee. The offense usually looks way better than that. I mean, they have one of the best passing attacks in Conference USA. Every other aspect of their team is trash. I'll give you that. The defense is a mess, but they should bounce back after a poor offensive performance against Louisiana Tech. Kennesaw State, I mean, the only decent part of their team is the run defense. Middle Tennessee has no interest in running the ball. So Middle Tennessee should have no problem lighting Kennesaw State up for a big number, 40+. The thing is, whether or not Middle Tennessee is capable of making stops against Kennesaw State, I have no idea. This Kennesaw State can't move the ball on anybody. They did make a couple plays in the Jacksonville State game, but as a whole, this has been hands down the worst offense in college football. So if there was ever a time for Middle Tennessee State's terrible defense to look decent, it would be at home against Kennesaw State. So I think this is the way to go. This is probably my favorite of the three, but I actually haven't even bet it. I'll probably bet this though, but like I don't like it. By no means am I telling you guys you should go bet it. I have no idea. I think Middle Tennessee should put up a big number. Well, you know what? Let's look up the Middle Tennessee State team total over, because if it's reasonable,
I think it was like 30.5 last I checked.
I might be down to take that. 30.5. All right, what do you guys think? I might be down to bet that right now. Let me just check a couple things.
I bet this too, which I guess I'm a psychopath. Really quick, the funniest thing is someone said Andy looks like an ISIS hostage situation with the camera.
Yeah, he just needs to do this.
So good. Yeah, this is a nauseating game. But I like the over. I bet the over. I just got it at 49.5, which it is right now. Louisiana Tech had a bad offense, just put up 500 yards of offense and 48 points on Middle Tennessee. I know Middle Tennessee is 127th in total defense. Kennesaw, meanwhile, put up 24. Jacksonville State gave up 63, 577 total yards. So, but Vadiano didn't even do that bad against Louisiana Tech. They just had some dumb mistakes. I know Kennesaw is last in EPA per play on offense, so I really don't think they can do much here against Middle Tennessee. I like the -9 as well, but I personally did the over. But both of these offenses run an extremely slow pace. I think both are in the hundreds, but I don't think that's really going to matter here for Middle Tennessee. I know Middle Tennessee had a rough schedule. I think we talked about that before the season started. But they also allow 40.5 points a game, which is the most in the Conference USA, even more than Kennesaw. So, I mean, Kennesaw allows the second most passing yards per game, and they have just one interception on the year. And in addition to that, they have one sack out of all these games. So, I mean, all that is making me want to take the over, even with how bad Kennesaw State's offense has been. I think they'll be able to throw. This is going to be a shitty game, but even if things are working, I can see a pick six by someone too. So, again, you can get this for 49.5. I would definitely do that if you're betting this. So, yeah, I think this is just going to be an ugly offensive game. I mean, well, ugly defensive game with points scored. So,
yeah, and people are mentioning. I talked about this last night of the YouTube on the YouTube video I uploaded that there was a chance Kennesaw State was making a quarterback change. Based on these comments, it looks like that it's confirmed they are changing quarterback to the kid Johnson. I'm not going to pretend to know anything about him, though. I do know he lost the starting quarterback battle to Davis. So like that's what I know about him, which is a little bit. It makes a statement. R-Truth, what do you think?
I'm gonna be on Middle Tennessee here. I backed them last week and they started out hot, so I'm just gonna assume if they start out hot like that again, they're gonna keep going against Kennesaw. Like you said, changing quarterbacks. I mean, if that guy lost the starting position to Bryson, then that's an issue. So clearly he's not particularly talented, but I mean, we'll see. We've seen crazier things happen. But yeah, I think this Middle Tennessee team needs to have a better game defensively. They did well against Memphis, and then they did well against Tennessee Tech. Now, usually I'd say like, oh, they did well against Tennessee Tech. I don't know how much worse Tennessee Tech is than Kennesaw State, honestly. Kennesaw State was a really bad FCS school last year, so obviously we know how bad they are. We've seen teams blow them out and see teams not afraid to blow them out. I think this is obviously a game where you have Middle Tennessee way more talented, way more fast motion, way quicker. And they're in need of a really, really good game. Therefore, I think if they can blow them out, they're going to blow them out, and they won't be able to get Kennesaw won't be able to get this thing with a backdoor cover or anything. I think it could get really, really ugly. So I'm going to be on Middle Tennessee here.
He said really, really ugly. All right. Let's move on to the next one. The team total is at 30.5, and I found a -110. Bro, I don't know.
Not bad. I mean, it's good. It's good over under.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to. I mean, it feels just like gambling, and I don't want to like. Well, let's take a look at this last one, and I'll find something.
I mean, you're not going to find much here either.
I don't know. I feel like the hype train for Louisiana Tech and Sonny Cumbie needs to be put on hold here.
Yeah, but New Mexico State is such garbage.
They're so bad. So Scoop, what are you on? You're not back at Sonny Cumbie.
I didn't bet this game. These games today, man. New Mexico State. I thought they'd at least score some points against Jacksonville State. But 13 points is pathetic. I thought with Marucci that would kind of bring a spark. That did not happen. Louisiana Tech, I still don't believe. I agree. I still don't believe they have some kind of offense. They played Middle Tennessee, which we just talked about. They're one of 10 teams that are allowing 300 yards passing a game. New Mexico State, though, I mean, is Parker Awad playing? Because I
think it is. Yeah,
I don't have words to describe how bad of a quarterback he actually is.
Whoa.
He's like Will Levis and Deshaun Watson combined if you're talking about NFL quarterbacks. Yeah, constant turnovers, can't find the end zone. They've also given up 48 points in 3 of their last 4, including to New Mexico. So, no, I don't believe Louisiana Tech found some kind of offense, but they are playing back-to-back terrible defenses, and New Mexico can't stop the run or pass. They're also 0-5 against the spread this season. So, and even though their game, New Mexico State, they're decent running the ball. That's Louisiana Tech's strength in this game. They're the best in Conference USA in rushing yards per game, defensively, and touchdowns on the ground. So I just don't think New Mexico State's going to move the ball here at all. So I like Louisiana Tech.
So I would be on the other side here. I feel like a lot of people are really reacting heavy to that Louisiana Tech blowout 49-point performance against Middle Tennessee last week, and maybe aren't too familiar with Sonny Cumbie over the last couple of years. He has been overall disappointing, and the idea of Sonny Cumbie going on the road laying more than 10 points is terrifying. This New Mexico State team is bad, but all of a sudden we're handicapping Louisiana Tech as this juggernaut offense because of one game. The game before that, Sonny Cumbie went on the road to FIU and was held to 10 points. 10 on the road at FIU. So, I mean, New Mexico State is bad. Are we saying FIU's like head and shoulders better? FIU's all kinds of problems. So I don't think this Louisiana Tech offense is nearly as good as their last outing. That being said, someone did say in the comments that Louisiana Tech changed play callers last week. And that could be, this last week could be an indication of what the new offense looks like with the new quarterback, because Baker broke his collarbone. So maybe the new play caller and the new quarterback, maybe this is what Louisiana Tech's offense is. I find that hard to believe with a couple year sample size of Sonny Cumbie. We know what the offense is under him. I doubt the quarterback breaking the collarbone and a new offensive coordinator turns Louisiana Tech into a Conference USA offensive powerhouse. That just doesn't make logical sense to me. So another thing I like here, Louisiana Tech has great defensive numbers so far this year. They've yet to play an offense that runs the ball once. Every single offense they've seen has been a pass-first offense. So New Mexico State, they're terrible. They actually have something of a rushing attack. They're like, when it comes to defense, they're like bottom 10 in the country. Passing attack, bottom 5 in the country. But when it comes to running the ball, they're like 79th in effective rush. So they actually can run the ball, and they're diligent. They stick to the run. Louisiana Tech has not seen an offense that does that yet. On the road on a short week, I think New Mexico is going to pound the ball between the tackles and should be able to keep it close. So this I might bet this one too.
The New Mexico State has their only game where they stopped a team throwing the football was Sam Houston, and we've talked about that. Sam Houston can't throw. They don't want to throw. They only want to run the ball. So I 100% think that they're going to get thrown all over in this one as well. Now, I'm not completely buying into what La Tech did last week, but I'm buying into it a little bit in this matchup. Because New Mexico State, they're just not a very talented team on either side of the ball. They do have a better rush attack. They've been better, as you said, the last couple of weeks. But the first 4 weeks, you can't just forget about those. Couldn't run the ball those 4 weeks. Doesn't mean they're not going to, but it also doesn't mean that all of a sudden now they are a good rushing team. So just overall, I just don't see it here. And I'm waiting for the moment where La Tech falls off, because I don't think that this defense is nearly as good as these numbers say. Like, I read their numbers and I just don't understand how they're so good. But then you look at the teams they've played, and I mean, anybody in the country would have good defensive numbers if they played this schedule. So maybe that day will come, but I got to be on La Tech here. I hate being on Sonny Cumbie's
I know they're
side,
6-0 against LA Tech, but
I was muted during that whole thing.
They don't have the same team.
Basically, I'm the only one on the Aggies. So we got 58, 59% of the poll on La Tech. These guys like La Tech. So basically, I'm the only one on New Mexico State by myself. So if you're on the New Mexico State with me we're on an island out there. So, all right. Do we want to do like a community favorite bet or something?
Sure. No,
that was
over 8 strikeouts.
We'll do the 3 college football games. So they like La Tech, they like Middle Tennessee, and like South Alabama. They like all of the favorites. Shocker. South Alabama minus 11.5. Then we have Mid Tennessee minus 9. Then we have La Tech minus 12.5. All right, what is the community favorite? Do you know these stupid things that we do, like the community parlay, community favorite bet, the underdog pick comes, like the extra things we do have been red hot on this show. The community parlay just hit. AJ's hit 4 of his last 5 underdogs prop beaver. Like these weird things that we do at the end have actually been hitting, and they're supposed to be just for fun, but they've actually been hot.
Tomorrow, don't do it, man. I already know what game we're talking about. Don't do it.
Money line. You know, you're looking at UTEP, right?
Of course.
Everyone's in a dead sleep.
Dude, Houston game's gonna be good.
Everyone's in a dead sleep when it comes to Scotty Walden right now. Everyone's napping on him.
At least UTEP's 0-6 against the spread too. That's not bad.
Yeah. All right, 5,
Damn.
4, 3, 2, 1, end poll.
Troy.
And the result is community favorite bet is South Alabama. Really?
Well, I have it 13.5. So if it falls around 12, I'll be pretty cool. Awesome.
So let me put that in there. Community top bet South Alabama minus 11.5. So that is the community top bet today that you guys voted on. South Alabama minus 11.5. Everyone, thanks for watching. We got UTEP tomorrow. All right. Yeah, I'll talk to you guys later. Oh, if you're in the league, submit your picks now. I uploaded it late. You got 2.5 hours to submit your picks for the league. New week starts today. So if you're getting in on this week, you don't want to start down minus 0.75 unit, get your picks in within the next 3